Hold on. And welcome to another episode of Vanilla Strangiato, the show that keeps going on even if you don't view it. Uh, it is it is a show about music. It is about to talk about music. And he is Steve.
I am Steve.
And I am Wes. And
How you doing?
well, I'm doing just lovely. Do we have any housekeeping?
Not really. We've been away. There was a gap. I went away.
You went away. And
I was taken away and came back less hair
I was
inclined.
going to say, not only did you go away as a human body, but much of your mane, almost all of your mane,
my strength and power has left me.
I don't know. We're going to decide if the fact that you cut your hair is going to give you newfound strength. We're going to see if this is the case.
I credit this design choice completely to my older sister, Elisa. This was her idea, not mine.
Does she deserve her proper name as you point to the fact that she made you cut her hair for her daughter's wedding?
I figured formality was inclined. I have an older sister, Elisa. I never call her that. She's been Lisa since we were kids.
Right, just when she makes you cut your hair for the wedding.
But but when it comes down to it in this family, and you have a rather lengthy knowledge of my family dynamic, at this point, I think there's only one person left that really kind of outranks me.
Yeah. So she was never much of a marshmallow when she enters the room. So I can understand why she'd carry some weight if she.
I might be bigger than her now. But if I ever want to see a black bottom ever again, she is a pastry chef.
Yes. So that is, that kind of leverage is unfair, basically, to a degree.
And then the kerfuffle this morning, I thought it led me to a neat little notion. The fact that my phone has passed on. I have had this phone, cute little musical aside. This piece of POS, I remember my phone died in October of 2016, and I remember standing there next to my boss and laughing and being like, my phone's dead. I was like, you know what? It'll be a nice couple of days of peace and quiet before I have to get another phone.
True.
And he turned around and he looked at me, he goes, idiot. You have to go to the airport tomorrow to pick up Jerry from America to bring him back to the hotel for the show. He needs to call you when he gets off the plane. His wife runs our office pretty much. So he's like, I will have Catherine set you up. You will pick up a phone tomorrow.
That's a good side little story. Could you just give background on that? Like you had the job at that time. Like you were picking up Jerry from America, whose last name I'm now blanking.
America. Jerry. Yeah.
The two guys that make up America are Jerry.
The two surviving guys. But anyway, at the Sherman Theater in Stroudsburg, where I work, I do a lot of things. Sometimes I'm dispatched to various locations to pick up artists that are at hotels. So in that case, we had America, which was a big deal for me growing up listening to that stuff.
But big band in general. I mean, it's one of the larger. This is the first band, I believe, that George Martin worked with after the Beatles, I think, or one of the major bands he did.
One of them. I mean, they did a bunch of stuff. I would assume he worked on what's that band that sounds just like the Beatles?
Badfinger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine George Martin had his hand in that, and that was before America.
I know George Harrison had his hand in that. At least I think that's the case. Yeah. But now we're really just rumoring around.
No, McCartney was big on them.
McCartney was big on them.
I'm pretty sure. That was that was an Apple. That was the first artist on Apple, wasn't it? Outside the Beatles.
I thought America was, but you might be right.
And it might be the first American artist.
And James Taylor was also another artist on Apple. It's another one to talk about. But
the non-evil Apple.
I may be rumoring another piece of useless.
We could be conflicted.
An unfounded. There's another piece of unfounded blurb.
Yeah, well, Zappa started America.
Right. But I think Steelers Wheel was who I may have been thinking of when I said George Harrison influence. And now I'm really not sure what to make of that. But So as we
yeah.
wander, America is a big deal and many a book, many a person's book. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
And you
that
picked
was
up
a treat.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to drive him back from Newark Airport and just listen to him tell stories and talk about it. And it's funny because that was right when we had just put out the King Dead record. So I was like, I finally made a record. Took me a long time, and he made me play it for him. So try to wrap your head around being in a Dodge minivan, me and Jerry, and me cranking King Dead.
And King Dead is is shoegazer stuff. So it's right. I
No,
mean, what would you say
no.
King Dead is?
As we called ourselves Spaghetti Western Instrumental Doom.
Much more appropriate.
Though
But
we did fit in with some shoegaze bands because we were a bit atmospheric. If you could,
very
if you think of like noxious, like acetylene acid type
well, there was two bass
atmosphere.
players, playing
Yes.
through a whole bunch of effects. So it was very ethereal, very
Yeah.
much so, and very good stuff. At some point, you should drop maybe
Horror movie music.
in this episode, maybe drop a clip in there. But
me drop in some sort of.
I know you would never do that. You would never do that. I'm really
like,
calling you out of character here, but
yeah.
but the thing is about what you just said. If I recall the story, I think many of us might say something like you just said, "Oh, Jerry made me play it." But the funny thing about your story is it kind of did go that way. He did prompt you. It's not like you were like forcing him to listen to it. He actually prompted you.
I just mentioned it. He was like, "Well, what's it like?" I was just like, "Well, Spaghetti Western Instrumental Doom." He's like, "Can I hear it?" And I was like, yeah.
The funniest thing about that is you get the image in your head. Jerry in the back seat, like I picture him just sort of leaning back and you keep having a camera
front
view.
seat. He was
like a camera. Oh, he's front. Oh, that kind of ruins my images. Him in the taxi in the back and just leaning into the window and talking to you, and you're behind the wheel. But anyway, okay, he's shotgun. And him.
I made Rick Springfield car sick that way. By the way, sitting shotgun with me, he got car sick and had to sit in the back of the van. Story for another time.
These are great stories. They really are.
I have a couple of them.
and I don't know where you want to go from here.
You know what? I didn't know.
I was counting on you. It's your turn.
Yeah. I just think this is. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like I feel like I've taken on this role in my older life as a music historian in some sort. The ghost of music past. I go down these rabbit holes of stuff that we've been either listening to our whole lives and just had no idea where it came from and how these things like got together. And to that point when my phone died after I talked to you on the phone last night, I was actually listening on my way home to a live version of Blinded by the Light from Man for Man. I got on a kick with that song during lockdown where it just became a song I had to listen to for a couple of weeks, like every day.
That's actually a little hard to believe, to be honest.
But
that song, which emanates from Bruce Springsteen, does not seem like this could have happened on our planet.
But it's like, what do we really know about Man for Man's Earth Band? Like, all we know is that, all I know is that song. And so I remember in lockdown, watching a live video of that, and it's on Midnight Special, which also ties into another whole conversation we've kind of tickled just about how, man, it's like we really grew up in a glory age of live rock music in that regard. Like, I don't see this kind of swagger and I don't know. There's just something about that 70s scene that I'm hoping it's going to come back somewhere because everything repeats, everything comes back around. And it's like, I think we're just so due, and what's so sorely missing from rock and roll is all contained in this rabbit hole I went down on a YouTube channel that just has a couple of hundred videos from Midnight Special, which ran, I mean, like Wolfman Jack, I think, was like hosting that for a while. And it was live music on TV before lip syncing videos were really that popular. And there's just stuff, and it's like, I'd have to show you, like, we could pull up a video. I could try it.
Yeah, if you want to do that, just leave yourself little breaks so that you can edit and cut them out. Cut out any delays. I just need to check. I've got mic volume, but I'm hearing myself only in the room. So how are you hearing me? Okay.
I hear you fine. You're like, I'd say even a touch hot.
All right, so I'm going down.
That's hot.
I'm gonna cut that back a little. But
I was running this video by myself while I was playing guitar before you showed up, and it was playing really well. So let's give it a shot. But there's so much to talk about in this video, dude. Just check out this band.
Okay, we're gonna play a song from our album, The Roaring Silence. We'd like you all to clap your hands. Can you do that? See ya. Woo! All right.
I mean, should we go full screen with it?
Yeah. Is that you're waiting for me to do that, or can you do that from there?
No, I'd have to do it on the YouTube page.
No, you just have to show. Hold on.
See if this works. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
How's that?
Better.
Dude, this guitar player. I mean, can you hear me or should I pause it?
I'm good. I can hear you and the music. But...
Okay. But it's like what really stood out to me, well, the drummer. Wait till you see the drummer. It's almost Will, what's his name from Saturday Night Live. But the guitar player just does this amazing stuff. I don't even know who he is.
My guess is he's not nobody.
Little enthusiastic drummer, China.
Really? I thought they had a humongous band. I guess not. You know what I'm struck by? The first thing I'm struck by is the dryness of the vocal. It's dead.
Yeah, it's just him.
It's like into a board. But
check out the drummer.
Rototom.
Yep. Oh, dude. Big points for enthusiasm, this guy. But I never knew he's the vocal.
Me neither. And that's a lot going on. From the headband.
Listen to this guy. Everything is perfect. Every note.
Yeah, vocals. Good. I mean, it's dry, but he banged out those notes.
I mean, Rush did a lot of time opening for them.
Really? You have mentioned that. I forget that. Yeah, that is fun. He's not only doing that, but he's got a lot of ghosting on the ride.
Oh, dude, he's killing it. He is so busy. But, you were focusing on Eddie Van Halen and stuff, but it's like, this guy's obviously not Eddie Van Halen.
Well, nobody's Eddie Van Halen.
Everything he does in his guitar lead later is just exactly what needed to be there.
Yeah. The fact that he's doing the backups, which are a little bit, that's really
Wait,
solid.
a V.
He's playing V. Oh, isn't that dude? Oh, you're gonna need to put his name up. Isn't he that session player who's always playing with Stevie Nicks and almost everybody else under the sun?
I have no idea.
I think he has a one-word name, maybe, or a nickname. The fact that the drummer's doing those backups, which are kind of a lot of articulation, with all that articulation on the drums at the same time, that's pretty complex.
Wait till that, I got dizzy listening to like the 3-part vocal in the end, the ride out. I don't know how they play and sing that stuff.
This band
listen to this guy.
No, he's not. Yeah, it's kind of dry too. I was going to say it's not dry, but it is. No, it's not the guy I thought it was. Forget that. Scratch that. The court will recognize that Mr. Ennard scratched
Stricken from the record.
session player from the commentary. Nice high
Big wedge
heel.
platform shoe.
That was a couple of bends that were short of the note. Yeah, that's picky. That's picky.
It's live.
Yeah, this band is much smaller than I thought. I thought they were like, I don't know, 8-piece band. Because they make a lot of noise. There's a lot going on there.
He's playing the shit out of that V.
Yeah. And in a song that's just you wouldn't think that.
I love this stupid song.
I'm shocked. I'm still shocked. You know it's a Springsteen song, right?
Yeah, of course. I don't listen to Springsteen. Isn't this Chops?
Yes.
But it works.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, we could probably do a show on great covers. This is an unusual cover. It's a great cover.
Yeah, everybody remembers the cover, not the original.
Totally. Much better than the original. And the thing is, much different than the original.
Try and keep track during the 3-part vocal in the back end of this. It's nuts. I love that headband, man. I'm bringing those back.
What year is this? Is it 80s yet? Is it late 70s?
No, this is like 72, 73.
No, it's not that early. It
I
can't be.
forget. We'll look.
It's got to be late.
Check out the vocal.
You know what's great about that? The drummer and the keyboard player are doubling that, just like on the record, like unison.
Yep. I couldn't play drums and do that.
And get that on key while you're unison, which is kind of hard.
Gradually fill in the measures on that beat. Add the snare. I can't count when I play. I get lost.
That is, and they get the whole backup singers going too now. The girls.
I'd be so confused right now.
Yeah, they rehearsed the shit out of this song. Clearly.
Back then, you slugged it out in the clubs till do this in your sleep.
Yeah.
Like them.
But this cover is a recreation of that original.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, smoke. We got flashbots.
This is network TV.
Yeah.
After midnight.
That is really solid. That, we could probably, and I think I'd like to do Burt Sugarman. I think I'd like to do a show on great covers. And the reason why they're great is because they were recreations. That is a recreation. That is not much like the original. Maybe in structure.
Let's see if it tells.
I'm going to guess. Let me guess.
1975.
I was going to go with 8. Wow, that's earlier than I thought.
75.
I don't think that's long after he wrote it. It can't be.
And
Didn't
then
Born to Run come out 75?
I found something else really neat. A lot of things really neat in here, but where's the one I want? Oh yeah, check out. I put this on to see if Glenn Fry was in it. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to go we have a commercial break.
Oh, we're having a commercial break. That's awesome. I think that only means we're making money. Clearly, we have commercials.
Them, we're making YouTube money.
Oh, that's different. That's different.
But check this out. I put this on to see if any of the Eagles were still with her.
Is a country performer and a very
I love him.
Very good one. And I dig country music. Things like
I love his
can't stop loving you, hey, kind of Ray Charles things, And if I figure that if it's good for Ray Charles, it's good enough for me. Ladies and gentlemen,
I love him.
Linda Ronstadt.
This is so great. It's just one of my very favorite.
I was looking to see if Eagle guys, because like Glenn and stuff were in her band before the Eagles.
I looked at that once, and it was more than I thought. Wasn't the Eagles, I thought. But I'd have to
They
go
were,
back.
like, half of it was her backing band.
God, I loved her then. She's so great.
But check out who's playing congas. And is killing it on the congas.
Was the original Martha Reeves, or she? She did a Martha Reeves song that I'm blanking on, but
I don't know.
she copped that roughness in her vocal,
Oh yeah,
that dry.
not to mention the most adorable female singer of the 70s.
She was so adorable.
Hands down. But check out that conga player.
Yeah, he's
Familiar?
banging. No, Greg Allman. I don't know who that.
We were talking about him on our last show. That's Jeff Skunk Baxter from Steely Dan.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm getting curious about the two backup singers, who they are.
They tell you in the description. It's look at that.
Wow.
That's one of the greatest guitar players of our era.
That is a riot. Wow, they just broke this down in a completely different way, which doesn't make me happy. That makes me happy.
And they all look like Saturday Night Live guys.
It might be Saturday Night Live guys. Listen to this next part. This is so Eagle-ish. This. You didn't play it. I hate that. We have a show on this problem of not playing the solo that you did on the record, or somebody did on the record.
Who cares?
I care.
Killing it.
That
Killing
down.
Just said,
Linda makes it all better. I'll give you that. But that was a disappointment.
Not to me, my friend.
I love when she does that. The way she used to sing back then. That grittiness.
Just think, this is probably a couple years before she started dating Jerry Brown.
I just
Governor California.
That's not in my head. It is now. You got a side guy over to the right who looks like Feldner, who, Don Feldner.
Yeah,
and he didn't even show up.
It could be. Well, I think they would listed him.
They were. She was tight with the Eagles and playing with what's his face, Glenn Frey. But I don't know who showed up on that record. But
Hensley was there too.
Henley,
whatever.
It's very, very Eagles-ish, the guitar work on that song on the record, and some great stuff that they didn't play, unfortunately. But love that.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Bassist Kenny Edwards, Little Feat drummer Richie Hayward, singer Clyde King, and guitarist Andrew Gold. The oldest
Andrew Gold?
Yeah.
The Andrew Gold who did Oh, What a Lonely Boy. You know the song I'm talking about?
I have no idea. I know the song, but I didn't know he did it. The oldest singer, Shirley Matthews on the left, is still with us at age 87. That was a comment from 11 months ago.
Huh.
But yeah, I was looking for Eagles and I found Skunk Baxter playing bongos like a monster.
That is a riot.
And it just led me to so many different rabbit holes in here.
Can I say something before you go on another one? Because you said something in the front of this that I thought was really...
yeah, well, I look for the next one.
I thought that was a really key thing you said. You said that, the 70s had that... the boldness of artists and sort of the rawness. I think that's what you were saying, where it's like that was a perfect example.
I'm going to show you what I was saying.
It's just pure talent. There's nothing else. It's just a purely talented band playing their asses off, and all you need to do is show that. But let me get to my point. Like, don't go.
Yeah. Wait, I'm muting. I'm listening.
Okay. So
I'm just prepping.
The thing that you said was, I'm hoping that comes back because everything comes back.
I'm bringing it back.
But the thing is, there have been movements over the last 20 years to bring that back. I mean, the Black Crowes were one of the first people to bring that back in the 90s, where it was like, hey, let's just get a great band that just plays great and, jams out, and it's not about anything else. and you know that has come back in a way. But the thing you can't ever
There's been touches of it. Yeah.
touches of it. But the thing you can't bring back, and I think this is what I was going to say to you about that too. I just heard Two Hearts Beat As One by U2. It was yesterday. Just ran across that somewhere. And I was thinking, boy, U2 was a band like that. U2 was a stripped down, play raw, you know, 3-piece with a vocal band. I mean, it was just raw, good band. No tricks, you know. And but anyway, the thing you can't bring back, unfortunately, necessarily, is context, or it's a hell of a lot harder. Like, so it's one thing to bring back, like, okay, let's just get down to business here and have a band on stage. It's not about their look so much, and it's not about anything else. It's just about being a great band. The thing you can't bring back is context. So in other words, just the Midnight Special. You have to have lived through that to know how great it was to have a live show on that had actual rock bands on, what was it, Friday night or whatever the hell it was on?
Friday or Saturday.
At midnight,
Saturday.
That was so unheard of. There was nothing else that you could see.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing Kiss on there and going, "Oh my God, Kiss!" Like, you know, where else would I have seen Kiss? You know, as a kid.
Well, I mean, that we could really broaden. I mean, we were so fortunate to have Don Kirshner before they started playing.
And maybe I'm thinking Don Kirshner too.
Yeah,
maybe
we had the In Concert series on ABC, was responsible for a lot of live stuff we used to catch on TV. But Midnight Special was the big one. I thought
Don Kirshner was. That's what I thought about.
Well, that was a big one too. But I think In Concert was around longer than Don Kirshner.
And I forgot about that. That's different, right? In Concert.
Yeah. And to me, they're like the American Bandstand and Soul Train of the Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, morning format.
And even American Bandstand and Soul Train, you saw artists on that. I would have never seen the OJs but still, like Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5 were on there, and the OJs and the Spinners, and I mean all the stuff we would never have seen as a kid, like who they were and what they look like and how they performed the song. Like I never saw that if I didn't have that. And so my whole point is, you could bring back a Friday night show with live bands. In fact, you know, Jules Holland is a great show. In fact, Jules, have you seen Jules Holland's show?
I've seen some stuff. You know, I mean,
Jules Holland has.
Sorry, go ahead. Squeeze. I was on a big Squeeze kick not long ago where I was watching a lot of interviews and a lot of live show stuff.
I'm talking about his show.
Yeah, he was in Squeeze. Yeah,
I know. I know that.
I've seen clips of his stuff when I was in my Squeeze rabbit hole, and I'm looking up stuff. I've come across some of it on YouTube. Yeah.
Just a quick note: his show is I don't know if it's called Late Night with Jules Holland, or I can't remember what it's called. It might be that, but it's him hosting, and he has maybe 4 or 5 bands in a circle, and he just cuts to one at a time doing a song, and you just see the camera move over to that stage. Okay, let's hear that band. Okay, that stage. It's all live and all raw. So he's doing it again, right? He's doing what was great maybe in the 70s. The thing is, you can't bring the context back. It's great, and Daryl Hall's show, that's very similar.
Yeah, I like Daryl's
house. I love Daryl's
house. Yeah,
but there's context. I'm just saying you can't be a young kid again getting this stuff exposed to you, and it's being so rare to ever see an artist, especially live. It was so rare, you know, because we went to a ton of concerts. We were in our teens. So, I mean, I'm just saying, context is the thing that's hard to bring back. I'm getting off my soapbox now. You ready? I'm going to step off the soapbox, and there, I'm off it, and going back to you. Sorry. That was it.
I'm still bringing it back to bars.
To bars?
Yeah, bar scene.
Oh,
that's where that'll start to grow.
And that's a fair comment. I think in terms of context.
Once it gets into the stadium, it's gone to. I mean, it's the age-old problem. Once it gets into the stadium, it's not that scene anymore. So, but that's a whole nother show. I want to play this. This is what I want to bring back. This is why I want a female lead singer in a band.
I think we're going to find out that my mic has been off the whole show. I only hear myself in the room.
Unfortunately, it's to say it's.
Is it loud? Because I'll pull it back.
I don't know. I don't know if my audio is just if it's just loud in my head.
Oh my God, how good is that?
Yeah.
I love her then too. Like, well, it's like what you're talking about. The
I wanna
power and
find
the rawness.
I want to find a mix between her and Kay Hanley, and I'd be the happiest guy on the planet.
She was so raw and powerful.
She just owns it.
And she still is. I mean, still just as raw and powerful. But
Yeah, well, that guy Bukovac that I have a crush on is playing guitar for her. They're out. I think they're out now.
I love that guitar player, and I can't remember his name.
I can't remember anybody's name
That
anymore.
guitar player. That's the one that the guitar player and Nancy Wilson had that big battle on stage. Like they were always battling, and then he threw his guitar and left the stage. They're having some kind of lover spat.
I don't know that one.
Here's a video.
I know that a lot of ugly dynamics in that band.
There's a video somewhere of them they were having a spat, and then in the middle of a song, he just threw his guitar and left it.
I'll just take that up.
Yeah.
Look at that huge toms that guy has.
He's a magic man, mama.
I froze.
Really?
Yeah, I've been gone, frozen, but I'm back.
Oh.
Thank you for playing what was on the record, sir. The only thing is she's dressed like your grandmother. Like everybody's grandmother.
I don't care.
No, I don't either. She was just
You wear a garbage bag with that voice. I don't care.
she was, but she's adorable too. I mean, she's raw everything at that time. She's also got a hell of a lot of presence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's like a tough ass. I mean,
There's so much good stuff on here, dude.
she was the kind of singer that could have stood there and just said, "Now listen to my beautiful voice." But she came out like Steven Tyler, like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Speaking of, let me see if I get my page to load. Yeah.
She didn't only like. I think she put female singers on the map. Let me say it differently. Well, I got to take that back because now Janis Joplin just popped in my head. So I would say she put female singers on the map in terms of aggressive, like, stage presence. The front person.
Why is this thing not going?
I'm making an incredible point.
I know. I'm just trying to.
I know you're busy.
Thing.
Well, let me
I'm
talk to the
listening.
audience for a minute. I was going to say, that Ann Wilson put women front persons on the map with her aggression, not only that beautiful voice, the power and the rawness and the energy, but Janis Joplin, I mean, what's before her? As Getty once said, who could come after? He said that about Neil. Who could come after the guy after Neil's audition? Who could come after Janis Joplin in terms of a female front person?
And speaking of Joplin and stuff, another person who stole liberally from Janis Joplin.
Totally. Sometimes I think that's his main influence. It's what you hear in his voice. Wow. He's playing the record. Joe is. He's trying. Well, he was. Wow. He's not completely trashed. Sort of point.
No, they're like all in it. I'm like blown away at Joey Kramer's Vista Light kit. His snare looks like it's a 16-inch. It's huge.
And it sounds like it, always.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to rip off his snare sound my whole life.
It sounds like a cannon and everything.
Yeah, he has my favorite shotgun blast Ludwig chrome snare sound that I've been trying to capture my whole life
Look,
as a drummer.
Brad.
Yeah,
Is it Brad? Or is it,
This is a really weird version of this, by the way.
But he was playing the record for a second there. Now he's not. Now he tried again. That was Joe. I thought it was Brad.
Yeah. Look at the size of that snare. That can't be a 14.
It looks not that
It looks like a 16.
deep. And glass.
Huge.
Or plastic.
Yeah, it's a
That's part of that
Viscolite.
stuff?
It's like the same Kip Bonham had. His was yellowish.
Yeah. He played with a lot of hammer. Joey Kramer.
I was gonna say, Whitford's playing a Les Paul Jr. Bridge pickup only.
Which makes sense because Joe's playing Fender.
Playing his Strat.
Yeah, you mix your Fender and your Gibson. Wow, they are incredibly not screwed up for this.
Yeah.
Like they're tight.
This is
Well-
This is the great rock and roll R&B band they were in the 70s.
As you know,
70s.
As you know, after the Beatles and the Stones, this was Led Zeppelin. This is the first. There's a little Janis for you. This is the first band that ever, meant everything to me, as you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anybody packed it more cool into their presentations than Aerosmith.
Oh, I'm gonna show you cool yet.
I mean, remember context again.
Wait till you
Because
see
we
the
were
next-
shown this with the Stones, but it wasn't as tough and cool and dark. Janis
This was our Stones.
That's
This
right.
is-
It-
This
the
is how we
Stones
said "fuck you" to the Stones
Well,
in
the Stones
America.
were not heavy enough for our
No.
generation. Like this was
No.
raw, dark, and mean and screwed up, and also heavy. Some of the riffs were precursors of the Metallicas that would come later. Actually, this song in particular is kind
It's
of
a
metal
Yardbirds
influence.
song.
But the way
It's a
they
cover.
played it,
I
but
know,
they
right?
took that one note riff, it's not a chord riff, it's a one note riff, and they had that drive that sort of has a metal kind of thing.
That was
I talked all
was
over Joe.
yeah, that was
That was cool. That was
your
cool.
favorite guitar player growing up, and you ignored his lead.
I know he's still one of them. He's still my top 5, maybe top.
We did that really
Please.
nice whammy into.
So what is beautiful about Joe, the other side of playing the record, is he's always in that zone of trying to play the best note ever and break up a song with it.
My idea cool is I love the video for Joe Perry Project. What is it? I forget. It's off the second. I got the rock and rolls again.
Yeah.
That's what's missing to me. That's what I'm trying to find.
Joey Kramer? What?
No, that it's just little flashes of it in certain things, like in this and in the Joe Perry Project video and the Heart video, and there's just certain things about 70s rock I'm looking for that I want
Wait,
to do
what are
again.
you saying exactly?
I don't want
Did you mute that?
What we were just talking about before. What we were talking about before about you're saying that the context, you can't bring the context back. But what I'm looking for out of bands and live music and what I want to bring back and what I want to put out there is those concepts again, is that kind of stuff.
Well, I want
to play that
I love
stuff.
anybody. I love that you would have that idea. I love that anybody would have that idea. But is that really missing? I mean, like, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm not
what
finding
band.
it.
Well, I don't
I'm
know
not
what
finding
band
it.
is doing it, but I would say, like, I get Guitar World. I like Guitar World, and there's an awful lot of bands that are presented that, that certainly I'm not out there seeing them live, but the claim is I did see Rival Sons, and I did think, I saw them at the 930 Club, and it was like pre-COVID, and I did think they had a really great live vibe. Kind of really felt like Black Crowes to me. But the thing was, I guess now I'm agreeing with you because something was missing. It was like a mimic of what we're looking at right now, but it
I'm
wasn't. I didn't feel the soul.
I'm
of
not
it.
feeling a lot of piss and vinegar out of the bands that I see, other than, like some bands, like, like I'll go see Clutch in a couple of weeks. I'll be happy at that one.
Well, how about Clutch? I mean, they're not. They're doing that, and I know in your eyes they're doing that.
Yeah, they're digging out some pretty interesting old stuff for this tour, it looks like, judging by the set list. So I'm looking forward to them being at the Sherman Theater in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania on May 1st. Pouring beer for y'all. Plug. But dude, we've been listening to this song our whole lives, and I just had no idea what the hell goes on in this song.
Which is the song you're about to play?
Yeah, song I'm about to play.
Okay.
This is I don't know. Do we want to make this the last one?
Yeah, we may be pushing this. Yeah, we're 40 minutes. Okay. It's up to you. We could do another one. I have something to say though, outside of this.
All right, you want me to pause it?
Pause for a second, because I want to put this in your head, and just we'll give this a minute. Yeah. We'll see if it even. I hate to say it this way, but we'll see if it even needs more than a minute. Anything to say about Taylor Hawkins, who just passed this weekend?
I mean, I liked him. I thought he was really cool. I love big fan of the one record I'm a big fan of. He doesn't play the drums on, and that's The Color and the Shape. That's really the only album from the Foo Fighters I've ever clicked with. A lot of that had to do with the girl I was dating at the time that got me into it. So that's kind of in there for a lot of reasons, but it is funny that right before I saw that announcement, I had been at the studio going through photo shit, and I pulled out I have a really nice picture of the one time I got to shoot the Foo Fighters at William Patterson. And, and I love that picture. You can see Taylor's head above his drums like perfectly, and it's a great shot. I have a framed version of it. But I know he's had problems in the past, so I was kind of like, I hope it's not that kind of a thing. But being in Colombia, it leads to certain speculation.
Well, he was found with, I think, 10 substances in his system.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to avoid, out of respect for the guy, because I feel bad for him and his family. I haven't been watching the sensationalism that's going to go on for the next week or two. The first thing that did flip in my mind was like him and Getty are going to talk and be like, because they were all really tight, Foo Fighters.
When you say him and Getty are going to talk, him
Grohl.
Yeah, that's what I figured you meant.
Because they're all very tight.
What about him as a drummer? What
He's a great drummer. Really great drummer.
Is he a great drummer? Yeah. And as you could tell, you already know I'm not a Foo Fighters fan. It's not that I'm really not an anti.
He killed it on 2112.
They're just invisible to me. Me. Foo Fighters are invisible to me. Dave Grohl's invisible to me. Taylor Hawkins is invisible to me. And I'm just as musically as people happen to. I don't really know of Taylor Hawkins the way I do Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl is a great supporter of music, and I really do like that. But the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl, I just don't.
I'm not into what they did. Other than I think The Color and the Shape is a great album, but I fully accept and acknowledge that Dave Grohl is a demigod.
I mean, don't get it. I'm just
he could just go. Oh wait, hold on. Let me call a Beatle. We need him for this show.
Well,
hey, Paul, We
Well,
got
that I'll
we
say.
got a big show here for Sandy Relief. You think you could pack up some songs and come over? Bang.
I
got a
to be
Beatle.
There's no question that the guy is at the absolute center
Yeah.
of whatever music is today. The problem is I'm not paying attention to what music is
He
today
did that.
or the last 20 years.
He did that with metal with the Probot record, and that's when I started to become aware of the true power of Dave Grohl, because he got everybody that was like the biggest names in metal to do his record, his Probot project. It's fantastic. Lemmy, Ozzy, Kurt from DRI, and like everybody on the planet's on it. And then it's like he just became huge.
Oh, he's like,
After that.
I don't even know. He's the mayor of music. He's the mayor of rock. I don't know why he's the mayor of rock. The Foo
Great
Fighters
advocate.
music, the only music that I got from Dave Grohl was Nirvana. That hit me.
I have no use for that either.
Nirvana. But anyway, you would do Taylor Hawkins some justice much more than I can.
I think he was a really solid, really good drummer. He did great work with Alanis.
I didn't even realize he did work. It worked.
Well, that's where he came from. He left Alanis. He was her touring drummer when he joined the Foo Fighters after The Color and the Shape came out. He joined for the next record, I believe, for the tour and for the yeah. I saw them on, I guess it was the record or so after The Color and the Shape. But
I do like Alanis Morissette, and I do, can appreciate the drumming, and so I didn't know that. So thank you for enlightening me.
Yeah.
But that was obviously a sad story, and I wanted to get some.
Yeah, it's disappointing. He's younger than me. He's 50 years old, but it's like this is something that's been going on, and it goes on in everybody's life, and it's something I'm trying to impress on some of the younger people that I know, that to tell them that, like, look, everybody that kind of stayed in the game, they're all dropping off now. Because once you start getting into your 40s, your risks go way up, which is why, I changed at least some of my ways.
Hey,
so
every little bit helps, and a lot of it, I would,
it's a shame. And you know what? Let's give him a moment. He was a drummer. He was a good man. He was a major Rush advocate for the Hall of Fame.
True.
And I think he did proper respects and justice to them when they did the 2112 with Nick, the producer, which I just thought was a gas. And they did the proper nod and induction speech. I thought it was great, and good person. It's a shame. So let's give him a moment.
I agree. That was very respectful. All the things you just named were great things, and he certainly is beloved in the industry.
Yeah,
There's no question about it.
Well, let's give him a moment
of silence.
See you when I see you. All right. Now let's do this. We'll end on this note.
I can't hear this song without thinking of Hocus Pocus by Focus. They go hand in hand.
We could end on that note because they were on here too.
It's a much better song to me, that one. But this was a good song. And Edgar Winter is a pretty amazing dude.
There are parts of this song that I thought were guitar that aren't. You
thought that was, right? The harmony.
Well, I knew. Yeah. I had no idea that he was doing a lot of this on keyboard.
I knew that was
on a guitar.
I knew that was, but I didn't know that little harmony. I don't know if I knew that, but I knew that was keyboard. You didn't realize that was keyboard?
Yeah, this stuff. Yeah.
Can we just say
I
that
thought
anybody
there was a separate keyboard player? I thought I confused him at the time with his brother Johnny, so I figured he was playing guitar.
The only more punishable offense than playing one of those 80s keyboards where it looks like a guitar is to hang your keyboard around your neck, which I don't know if anybody else ever did. Just actually hang a keyboard around your neck.
It's insane, the effects rack behind him below the bass drum. There's a lot going on here.
Even Keith Emerson didn't hang a keyboard around his neck. I don't think.
Keith Emerson used to hump a theremin and then knock his B3 over.
But it would raise the question if either Keith Emerson did it or Rick Wakeman. These would be two people that might have done this, but they did not.
Emerson used to levitate and everything and spin with his piano. He spun with a piano.
I mean,
A
that's what I'm
piano.
saying. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Edgar went and said, I have to do something. I'm going to hang this 30-pound keyboard, however the hell heavy that might have been. There's some 70s.
That's CGI for 1973.
Yeah. Nice guitar. Yeah, give me some sax.
Yeah,
it's not in the song. Is there sax in the song?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, in the record. Wow, and he plays it. Did not know that.
Neither did I.
And
if there's sax, you'll remember the sax part, but he just does this lead instead.
He's wailing it. It's not just playing sax.
Yeah,
like,
he's not just. I had a few lessons as a kid.
Or I can play this a little bit. It's not Bill Clinton playing the sax.
Well, I would imagine in the 60s and 50s, if you weren't running moonshine, you were learning how to play music down south. That's just my guess.
Running moonshine, it might have actually been sax that you were. Sax or like a flat top. You know what's funny? Is there a bigger instrumental you can think of from the 70s than this? Don't say the Star Wars theme. That was pretty big.
This is the part everybody knows.
Actually, there were a lot of big instrumentals in the 70s.
But this guitar player is really good to be hanging note for note with this.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really articulate. Have you ever heard a guitar sax?
Not like this.
Harmony riff?
Well, I got to watch it every night with violin and guitar. But
that I know you've seen with Ponte and
going up scales.
I'm sure I've never seen that before, and a complex version. Wow, they're like playing. He plays those too. Okay. What else does he do? I wonder if the drummer's like, dude, you're gonna take all the cool drum solo parts?
No, because here comes the drum battle.
Oh, the drum battle. Yeah, okay. Look at that amp peg. I never knew this was two drummers until I listened closer years ago, and I went, "Oh, it's a duel. It's a battle." I thought that was all one drummer. Original.
This part is killer.
That's hard to do. Now the drummer's like, "I'm the drummer. Hit your keyboard."
But this is nuts. I always thought this was guitar.
I didn't know what this was. Yeah, and I agree. I would maybe guess guitar. Like sounds like it's the wah pedal.
Yeah, I always thought this was guitar.
God, everything has been. Wow.
Yep.
That doesn't look particularly hard for him, for the record, but that's like an Eddie Van Halen moment.
Yeah.
Doesn't look hard for
on
him.
Guitar, that was tough.
Yeah. Well, on keyboard, I'm not sure if it's because he's nailing it. Everything's note for note. You know, I'm note for note.
Yeah, but you can't cut the key sharp.
I'm trying to be
flat or overbend it half step out of tune.
Yes, you can, because he's using the flywheel. He's using that wheel.
Well, you could, I suppose, to that degree.
I mean, I don't know if he's using that wheel, but I would think during that he would have. He is. I mean, this whole song is articulated with care. Nobody's drunk in this particular song. Or performance, I should say. All right, we'll do that too. Land on your knees, smash the thing. Keith Emerson. Now we're Keith Emerson.
Yeah, but albino Emerson.
I thought he was going to take a dump on it. It did look
Is
like that
that
might be
nuts?
next. That is nuts. It's also,
Drummer is a beast.
he is, and he's only got that, what is it, 4-piece? 3,
Yeah.
4? I wish the bass player was getting busy.
But what a fun experimental time in music.
Yeah, you're right about that. Well, you're right about that. You ain't going to see this. That's a riot. Wow.
This guy's killing it.
Is the snare unsnared and he's using it that way? Is that why is the snare like a tom? You know when you take the snares off?
Oh, yeah, turn off the
Non-drummers do.
snares.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still baffled by what's going on over here with that flow chart.
Yeah, watch when he goes rolling around the kit. Sounds like the snares.
Yeah, he might have the snares off.
It's a crappy sounding kit, but it is on the record. Yeah, they're off. Boy,
And I think we know how that song ends.
talk about like, you got your one. I don't know. Did he have another hit during the 70s? I don't think he did.
I'm sure he had many that we're not aware of.
Well, not big, gigantic, last 80
Not
years.
like that one.
kinds of hit. So I figure, hey, if you're going to exploit your big hit, that's certainly
You know,
doing
I'm going there. You brought it up.
Okay.
I'm
This is
going
going to
there.
be one of the most together
Oh, Gladys
and
Knight.
exciting groups
Yep.
going. Welcome, Focus.
Since you brought it up. Dude,
They're 4-piece.
look how fast they play this.
They don't speak any English. But, and I thought that's why they did all the yoda, yoda, yoda. Check out the guitar work in here. Not just the playing, but the sound. Very
You're
raw.
telling me?
I'm thinking about the record, not this. Check out that slanted 20th fret, 21st, or whatever it is.
Look how fast they're playing this.
It got
And they
very
get-
low. It's low
They
in the
get
mix.
fat. Oh, okay. I turned it down a little. It was really loud.
Yeah, this is flying.
Is that good?
Yeah, better.
All these drummers I've never heard of that are just insane.
Yeah, he is. That's a riot.
This guitar player looks like he should be in like a 70s porn. And he's
They all look
amazing.
like they all look like you should be in the 70s.
Look how fast these guys are playing.
I can't believe how fast they're playing. Sure, it's easy for him to go that fast.
They're faster.
It is. Oh man, killing those notes though. At that speed. Key change. Sounds like Andy Kaufman. If Andy Kaufman did a song, a rock song.
But like an Amish.
Yeah.
And
I think they're going faster than they were. Wow. See him bending those double stops. What are you playing there? 2 notes?
Fuck you, Ian Anderson. That's all this says to me.
Or tribute to. Oh, sounds better. I don't know if you turned it up, but it sounds better.
Nah, I didn't.
It got louder. I love his rhythm sound on the record. It's just so raw. This is the F you to Jim Neighbors?
Yeah.
Or the tribute.
And like Bach.
Oh my God, he hit tea kettle pitch.
And it's faster.
Look at him go! Guitar player. I think he kept up, the guitar player.
Drummer gave up.
Oh, yeah, he was like, that's it, let's just stop. Standing ovation. They're standing now because that was great, because, like, who the hell is going to do that again?
Just absolutely nuts.
So now when you say what you said to open this whole thing, like, you know, that's gone, or, you know, so nobody's doing it. Nobody's. I mean, these two things you just did, like, nobody. Who's going to do that now? Who would listen to it?
I have stopped the share.
Wow. Well, that was fun.
Well, that was your little. That's the rabbit hole I went down at about 2:30 in the morning last night. I was like, I should go to bed. Oh, let me check out this video, and then next thing I knew, and it was the first one I watched was like Linda, and I just saw Jeff Baxter in there, and I was just like, Jeff Baxter can't be playing congas in Linda Ronstadt's band. Like, that's just made no sense to me. But those guys, they all hung out together back then, and they just all wanted to play on each other's music. It was such a vibe.
Yeah, and very much, I think, a California thing for Linda. Like, that was.
Well, he's an East Coast guy.
Who?
He moved out.
Baxter?
Yeah, he was the East Coast guy as far as
I'm not sure if anybody starts on the West Coast. It seems like people move out there.
I need to be a West Coast guy.
That I know. We talked about this. Maybe we'll get to that, but I know we could lose you to the West Coast.
It's not happening anytime soon.
Well, the East Coast will have you as long as you want to stay. So look, that's been a show. This is Vanilla Strangiato.
Vanilla Strangiato.
What is that? Queensryche? Sounded like it.
Nah, it's just that whatever D chord I've been playing forever.
I don't know what that is. It sounded like Queensryche. Okay, let's close out the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Vanilla Strangiato. This has been, I am Wesley Steve, and we shall see you next
We'll be back eventually.